Hello everyone, my name is Itamar Blauer and welcome to Semrush's Weekly Wisdom. Today I'm going to cover how to effectively conduct keyword research on YouTube. And in this session I'm going to be going through some misconceptions about keyword research on YouTube specifically, and also some tools and tricks in order for you to be able to do keyword research yourself very effectively and efficiently. So first of all, we want to begin by looking at the truth behind keyword research on YouTube. And the first thing to understand is that Google does not provide monthly search volume data for YouTube. So Google don't actually tell you the exact figures about how many people type in a certain phrase onto YouTube search. They don't tell you that. There are some third-party tools that use something called clickstream data, which is the analysis and processing of users' activity and clicks on their systems. Usually clickstream data is supposed to be more accurate, but based on my testing, this hasn't really been proven. It's also worth noting that clickstream data does vary depending on the ISPs and user behavior and things of that nature. So clickstream data isn't a guaranteed way of you knowing exactly how people are behaving, even though it is slightly more accurate. So the question is, if Google does not provide us with this data, then what do they provide us that might be able to help us? Well, there are two different tools. There is the YouTube Autosuggest feature on the YouTube search box, and there's also Google Trends, which is a very good feature. Let's start with YouTube Autosuggest. This can be done by going onto YouTube and in the search bar, typing in a keyword will then show you suggestions of all other keywords that are related to this keyword that you've put in based on what YouTube deems to be relevant. Now, most of the time, this is actually a great way for you to get ideas of what kind of keywords to target, because what shows up in the YouTube Autosuggest wouldn't appear if YouTube didn't think there was any demand for this keyword phrase. Moving on to Google Trends. Google Trends is a fantastic tool because you can filter specifically to see trends within YouTube searches. So for this example, PewDiePie recently got married. Good for him. And I put in PewDiePie on this Google Trends, and then filtering it from YouTube search, you can see that there is an increasing trend of PewDiePie searches based on around the time that he got married. So Google Trends is a great free tool that you can use. And remember that all of these tools and tricks I'm going to teach you today are actually free. So anyone can do this, you don't need to spend any money. So apart from YouTube Autosuggest and Google Trends, there are other third-party tools that you can use. And these two are Chrome extensions. The first one is TubeBuddy and the second one is VidIQ. TubeBuddy tells you how many searches per month a particular keyword has that you've typed in, but keep in mind that, as we mentioned before, this may not be 100% accurate. Another thing that TubeBuddy does is it will analyze the keyword you've put in, and it will determine the competitiveness of that keyword and whether or not it's a good keyword for you to target. Another thing you need to keep in mind that TubeBuddy does require access to your YouTube account, aka your Google account that your YouTube account is based off, so just keep that in mind if you want to sign up. VidIQ is the other Chrome extension that we're going to be talking about. It is also free and only requires a sign up, so it doesn't actually need access to your YouTube account. The interesting thing about VidIQ is that when you type in a phrase onto YouTube search and you search for it, it's going to give you a bunch of metrics related to that search, such as the average amount of views that all the videos have that are ranking for this term that you've put in. Another thing that's really interesting is that it will tell you the exact number of times that exact keyword match was used in the title of the video, in the exact order of the keywords that you've put in. And this is really important because you want to be able to see and test if people are using this keyword phrase in their titles in the right order, how many of these videos actually do rank. So it's really interesting to get your own experiments done about this kind of thing. It also gives you some cool metrics like the best performing video, the video with the highest amount of views, it will tell you that number. It will also tell you the best performing channel that's uploading these videos, in this case it's CarWow. And similarly to TubeBuddy, it does give you a keyword score telling you about the competitiveness of the keyword that you're using. And note that VidIQ does not tell you the monthly search volume for the keyword that you've put in. So now that I've gone through the tools, I just want to quickly touch upon why you should be careful if you're conducting YouTube keyword research using Google search volumes. The first thing is that the search intent will always be different. So somebody putting a query on Google can be different from how that person will put the same type of query onto YouTube. A lot of times on YouTube, queries are things such as how to and tutorials, because these are trigger words that will usually indicate that somebody is searching for a video as opposed to reading a blog post. Although this can also be a blog post, but a lot of times you'll see, even if you type on Google for tutorials and how to searches, you will find video carousels on the SERPs. You always need to keep in mind when you're creating YouTube videos and when you're doing keyword research that you're thinking about what would users type onto YouTube if they want to find this video, not what they would type in on Google. You also need to keep in mind that the data will be skewed just because of the previous point where there will be different people typing different things on YouTube and Google. So the example I had before of the Audi TT review, somebody who's looking to buy a car may want to look at videos of people actually driving the car and reviewing them. Hence, there may be more searches for this on YouTube as opposed to Google. And this is quite evident because we can see that there are under 1,000 searches of Audi TT review, whereas I'm pretty sure there's a lot more of that on YouTube. The last thing to note is that, as well as the other points we've mentioned, the wrong keywords could be used. So this is all based on the intent, and it's also based on how people structure the language on both Google and YouTube, because it can differ. So you need to be really, really careful if you're conducting keyword research using Google metrics and you're trying to use those keywords on YouTube. So as a recap, the first thing you want to make sure you don't do is don't rely on metrics alone. Metrics alone won't do the job. And we've covered this quite clearly in this video, where you can see that metric data will always be different because Google don't provide the actual number of monthly searches for YouTube. Take advantage of the things that Google do provide us, because what they do provide us in terms of the Autosuggest and Google Trends are very, very accurate. So it is highly, highly recommended that you guys use those tools. And it's also good to know that other tools can help you with your keyword research, but this will never guarantee you more views. And this is the underlying concept of creating video content on YouTube, is that the videos have to be great and you have to make sure you're creating great content that people will want to watch and will want to click through on. And this obviously varies in terms of other things that keyword research can't really do for you, such as the thumbnails you use in your videos and how they can influence the click-through rate. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name's Itamar Blauer. Feel free to follow me on platforms like Twitter and LinkedIn, and we'll see you in the next one.